In 2020, as millions of Americans were losing their jobs during the pandemic, Lakewood Church, led by Joel Osteen, quietly received $4.4 million from Untold, a government relief program meant to help struggling small businesses. But Lakewood was no mom-and-pop operation. It was, and still is, the biggest megachurch in the United States, pulling in nearly $90 million every year. When the news broke, the public reaction was fierce. Yet the PPP loan controversy was only one chapter in a much larger story. Behind Osteen's ever-present smile and uplifting words lies a tale of prosperity, closed doors in moments of crisis, family ambition, and a ministry that has grown into a global business empire worth hundreds of millions. Joel Scott Osteen entered the world on March 5, 1963, in Houston, Texas. He was the fourth of 6 children born to John and Dodie Osteen. His father, once a Southern Baptist pastor, experienced a life-changing moment when Joel's sister Lisa was born in 1958 with severe health challenges. That event reshaped John's beliefs, pushing him toward preaching about miracles and divine healing. In 1959, John and Dodie launched Lakewood Church in a converted feed store. The building only had 234 seats, but it carried an atmosphere of hope that steadily drew people in. Faith defined the Osteen household. Joel's sister Lisa became a pastor, his brother Paul became a surgeon and missionary, and their mother Dodie's miraculous survival after being diagnosed with terminal cancer in 1981 only deepened the family's conviction. Joel, however, was different. Shy and quiet, he wasn't drawn to the pulpit. What fascinated him instead was television. After a short stint at Oral Roberts University, he returned to Houston and threw himself into creating Lakewood's television ministry. For 17 years, Joel worked behind the cameras, directing, editing, and building a polished image for his father's sermons that reached living rooms across the country. For years, John Osteen urged his son to preach, but Joel resisted. That changed in January 1999 when Joel finally agreed to deliver his first sermon. 6 days later, tragedy struck. John died unexpectedly from a heart attack at 77. Suddenly, Joel was no longer just the quiet technician behind the scenes. On June 7, 1999, he stepped into the role of senior pastor. He had no seminary training and little experience, but he carried something else, a style people found refreshing. He spoke gently, with messages centered on kindness, hope, and the promise of better days. This smiling preacher quickly drew crowds. By 2004, weekly attendance had grown from 8,000 to 25,000. Joel poured money into television outreach, doubled Lakewood's media budget, and expanded the brand. In 2003, he signed a 30-year lease on the Compaq Center, a former NBA arena, for $12 million with another $90 million in renovations. By July 2005, Lakewood had transformed into a sleek 16,000-seat worship center. Every seat was filled on opening day, and the church's services were now being broadcast in more than 100 countries. Joel Osteen's career shifted from ministry to media empire. In October 2004, he released his first book, Your Best Life Now. Within 3 months, it sold over 500,000 copies. By May 2005, sales had passed 1 million, and ultimately, more than 4 million copies were sold worldwide. The book stayed on the New York Times bestseller list for more than 200 weeks. In 2005, Osteen made another pivotal choice. He stopped taking a salary from the church. Instead, he built his fortune through publishing and speaking tours. His 2007 book, Become a Better You, earned him $13 million. His Night of Hope events filled arenas across the United States, and by 2019, were selling out Wembley Arena in London. Each appearance could command $100,000 to $200,000 in fees. His wife, Victoria, became co-pastor in 2003, launching a women's ministry and writing bestsellers of her own. Their children, Jonathan, born 1995, and Alexandra, born 1998, joined in as worship leaders and musicians. Together, the family transformed Lakewood into a worldwide operation, its broadcasts reaching 200 million homes annually and its budget growing to $70 million today. Joel's personal fortune is estimated at around $100 million. Joel's success has always come with criticism. In 2010, he and Victoria purchased a $10.5 million mansion in Houston's elite River Oaks neighborhood, a 17,000 square foot property with 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 3 elevators, and parking for over 20 cars. While Osteen insists his wealth comes from books and events, many argue it embodies the prosperity gospel, the teaching that faith can bring material wealth. Some theologians warn this message twists Christianity, shifting the focus from sacrifice and redemption to self-help and success. One scholar even called Osteen's sermons Christianity without a cross. Then came the storms, both literal and figurative. During Hurricane Harvey in 2017, while thousands of Houstonians were left homeless, Lakewood initially kept its 16,000-seat sanctuary closed. Osteen claimed flooding made the building unsafe, but viral video showed otherwise. Public outrage forced the church to open its doors, but his reputation took a lasting hit. The pandemic brought another wave of backlash. Lakewood accepted $4.4 million in federal relief funds, one of the largest loans in Houston, even though the church already had vast resources. Under heavy criticism, the church returned the money in 2021. But the damage to Osteen's image was done. Joel's family life has been carefully managed, but not without controversy. He met Victoria in 1985 while she was working in a jewelry store, and they married in 1987. Their children, Jonathan and Alexandra, now play central roles in Lakewood's ministry. But lawsuits have occasionally pulled Lakewood into the spotlight. In 2014, a family alleged that a staff member injured their toddler during a service. The case was settled quietly for $15,000. The most devastating moment came in February 2024, when a woman entered Lakewood's Spanish-language service carrying an AR-15. She opened fire, injuring a man and critically wounding her own 7-year-old son before being shot by off-duty officers. The child's injuries reignited fierce debates about church security and gun laws in Texas. Joel Osteen's sermons remained tightly rehearsed, carefully timed for television, and delivered with his signature smile. His social media presence, with tens of millions of followers across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, ensures his message spreads far beyond Houston. But the tides of culture may be turning. Younger generations are drifting away from megachurches. Only 15–16% of millennials and Gen Z attend services regularly, many saying they prefer smaller, more authentic spiritual communities. Lakewood remains enormous, but its attendance and viewership are slowly declining. For many, Osteen's message of relentless positivity feels disconnected in an age of rising costs, political division, and everyday struggles. The question now is whether Joel Osteen can evolve with the times, or whether his empire, built on optimism and polished presentation, will fade as new generations search for something more genuine.